then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
All right, Rebels, we are back at it. We got the error fixed. I apologize to my social media friends. Facebook, YouTube, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, everywhere there is just about. Hit us up. Studio57radio.com. That's another spot. If you guys get lost and can't hear us, I apologize for that. But we got it back. We're rolling. We were rolling too with the Michigan talk. We're still talking a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We got more in football. There's NBA. There's plenty to get into. The coaching carousel that is the NCAA football. So let's get back to a very happy Moose, a very satisfied Moose. This is, our second hour of DSR2. We're not going to take any more breaks. So that was our official break. How about that? So without further ado, let's do hour 2 of DSR2. I am Snappy. There's Johnny the Mouse.
Hail to the victors. On there, go blue, baby. On there, yeah, here we are for the second segment of DSR2 education base, and it was pretty much, it was all college football.
Yes.
We got hot and heavy here. We're definitely with Michigan, Ohio State on there as well as breakdown on that. We're getting into a little bit of, obviously we talked a lot too about possibilities of the playoffs and everything, what's going on. And we just started getting into the coaching carousel of college football where somebody's getting paid big on there. I mean, it all started when you got the Mel Tucker and getting the $95 million contract, and then you got the James Franklin for a $75 million contract, and then we got into Lincoln Riley making like all the money. He's just got he's just swimming in a freaking
he's like
swimming pool of
he's Scrooge McDuck
ducks swimming in it, but it's not gold coin, it's cash, it's Bitcoin.
It's Bitcoin, it's doggy coin.
So we got all that going on there. And again, as the news came out, Brian Kelly from Notre Dame is leaving the Irish on there to go to LSU. Why? Because upwards of $105 million. Why?
Yeah.
There, dude, 10-year deal, $95 million base salary, and then he gets all his bonuses and everything with it, which can come up to $105 million. Dude, that's why he left Notre Dame. Notre Dame wasn't going to pay him that kind of money.
No. They don't traditionally go that far. I mean, that's pretty crazy. They'll spend some money, but it's one of those things, man. Like, let's just be real. They're all making business decisions.
Yes.
I mean,
I don't blame them.
And it is what it is. And yeah, and we've always kind of had that philosophy of not blaming them for wanting, and that's the same philosophy I'm going to take with these college kids with their name and likeness and the transfer portal too. So. And on the other side of that, if I'm a coach and I don't want to be in a certain region because of, the opposition and dealing with the portal and dealing with the recruiting and all that, and I think I have a better situation.
Where I'm living at?
Like
Norman, Oklahoma?
Right. Like
versus LA?
Yeah. I mean, there's all those different things that come into play. It's like, I'm just not. Yeah. What am I going to say? I want to be mad. I would do the same damn thing. Every one of us would.
Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma better get it right because the last time they didn't get it right on there, it was a good decade of basically garbage. I mean, we all remember the Howard Schnellenberger era of Oklahoma football.
Right.
Was garbage on there. So, dude, don't screw it up on there. And dude, you're not getting Cliff Kingsbury. He's not leaving that bachelor pad in the desert for Norman, Oklahoma, dude. We still talk about that bachelor pad from the NFL draft. Dude, he ain't leaving.
Nope.
No, plus they're like 10-2.
Right.
He's not going to Norman, Oklahoma from Arizona.
I wouldn't think so.
It better be a lot more cash on there. It better be around that $115 million contract.
It just depends on what you get paid. We just got done saying that, like, If you got the
Now
right
we keep talking about
situation-
all these cats getting all paid on there. Well, guess what? That's all going to be dwarfed when Nick Saban says, "Where's mine?"
Well, yeah, he's got the resume. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, like him or not, he's got the resume. So, but yeah, it's gonna be. You're gonna see and this is gonna be. Everybody's worried about the consequences of like the different things that are going. The changes and stuff. This is reality all the time. So now it's just a balanced field as far as I'm concerned. I think it's kind of entertaining to me.
Yeah.
Like it reminds me more of the pros, unfortunately, maybe if you don't like the pro game as much, in the fact that everybody's making a business decision. It is. You're making a business decision. Now, I'm not saying you're not making a business decision prior to this, but now the dynamics are just so much crazier. The reason you would make a decision change a little bit now.
Yeah, and don't tell me you can't afford to pay these players when you're paying these cats like 8 figures.
Well, you
now.
see what kind of crazy money this stuff generates. Let's be real. If you want to look at the sports landscape, you're telling me that a college football team that's like the only team in a state, doesn't have a pro team, let's say, you're telling me they don't generate as much or more revenue than an NFL team that we know prints money?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we know, again, the Big Ten, each team gets $50 million a year just from the TV contract from the Big Ten network.
Right.
We're not talking about the major networks. We're not talking about ESPN or CBS or Fox. We're just talking Big Ten contract for money for these teams
Right.
and everything with it. And trust me, dudes, Mel Tucker I think like $8 million of that contract per year is being paid by two alumni.
Right.
So you can't tell me we don't have any billionaire alumni. Bullshit.
Right.
State's got 3 of them.
Yep.
Michigan, God knows how many they have.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they afford this stuff. So there's not like a salary cap in college.
No.
So it becomes a different kind of
And people are all
atmosphere.
poo-poo around it. Well, that's ridiculous. Dude, you're not paying the tab.
No.
It's not even coming out of the university fund. It's coming out for boosters saying, we want this cat on there. We want a winning football team.
Right.
Here it is. Here's
Yep.
$4 million a year. Here's another $4 million a year.
Right.
All right, you kick in $1.5 million from the university, and there we go.
Yep.
So don't give me that crap on there
Absolutely.
with it. So yeah, it's going to be great with it. And again, this weekend we've got the conference championships on there as with it. And again, we've already talked about pretty much on there. Baylor versus Oklahoma State. That's like a noon kickoff on there. That's on ABC. With that, I think, and again, that's going to probably be the best game of the day. Oklahoma State's favored by 5.5. Both teams are kind of mirror each other. Really good defense. Both can run the ball a little bit on there. And again, the first matchup, those two teams on there was a great matchup. So I think that's going to be a good one on there. Friday night, we've got the Pac-12. And it's the rematch of Oregon, Oklahoma, and Utah. Hopefully it turns out better than the first one where Utah pretty much took Oregon out to the woodshed.
Right.
Actually, Utah is favored by 3, so we'll see on that one. And then we've got the SEC. That's at 4 o'clock on Saturday. That's on CBS. Georgia, Bama. Georgia 6.5 point favorite on that one.
Yeah, for sure. That's gonna be the hype game. I think people are gonna be.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think it's gonna be on there.
Need to be a Georgia fan. Need to be a Michigan fan. All these kinds of fans to keep these other teams out.
And then we got prime time. We've got on ABC the ACC championship with Pitt versus Wake Forest. Pitt is believe it or not, a 3-point favorite on that one with their quarterback on there. And then we got the Big Ten in Indianapolis, and that's going to be on Fox. And then we got number 2 Michigan versus number 13 Iowa, and Iowa is now a 11-point dog. It started at 10 with the 10.5. Now it's 11 on this one. Again, being that we don't have to go to Iowa, thank God, I think Michigan can take care of this on it. And again, Iowa has not played well against running games on there, where I think Michigan just seems to be this team's gotten better and better in the month of November. And I think this team is focus-wise with it to get them to the at least the playoffs on there. And I think both games are on New Year's Eve because New Year's Day is on a Sunday this year. So we'll get into that. I think we'll get more into the playoffs and everything with it on there. Good news is we're not going to get any 5-win team getting to a bowl game because they've got enough 6-win teams to do it. Actually, they've got 81 bowl eligible teams, but only like 78 teams can make bowl games. So a couple teams won't make it. So again, on it. But the good news is every Division I school in the state of Michigan is going to a bowl.
Nice.
Or at least bowl eligible. All 5 teams. There we go. It's a great day.
It is a great day.
So, yeah, we got that going on there. And of course, we get our COVID on there. LeBron James is out 10 days.
Yeah, that means he's
unless he gets 2 negative tests in a row.
Yeah, so that means he tested positive.
Yep. He did get the vax, so they could just say all they need is 2 tests within a 24-hour period.
Well, he didn't. Okay.
Mike McCarthy from the Dallas Cowboys tested positive, so he will not be coaching this week.
Whatever. Don't care.
Don't care.
No, I don't. LeBron's already missed half his games this year. What do I care? Yeah. He's missed like 13 to 23 games. Yeah. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, who cares?
That's exactly what we thought was going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
And then when he finally gets back to playing and all that, then, you know, the bra will just like blow a hammy or something.
Russell Westbrook is terrible.
Well, Russell Westbrook is the only one that'll be able to stay on the floor. Because he's the only one that's durable. Everybody else is going to be...
Yeah, because everybody else is in wheelchairs because they're 150, except for Davis, who never stays healthy. With that, so yeah, we got the NFL on there. As we said, is the Thanksgiving game. Dude. They could have won that game if they had just a legitimate play caller.
It is what it was, like I always said. They blew their wad on that one game. He don't have nothing else. He gave up everything he had in one game.
Right. I mean, that offense is so bad, and the way he's calling that offense is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, this defense has played well enough to win 4 games this year.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, they should have won the Chicago game. I mean, if they would have had just throw the ball downfield. What the hell? 4th and run. 4th and 12, run. Third and 30, run. It was terrible. Thank God I was busy getting everything, doing my pre-cooking there because I had to make stuffing and everything else with it. So I'm like, oh, whatever.
My take on the whole lineup really was kind of like meh.
It was
meh.
Actually, you know what?
It was football. It was nice. I mean, but meh.
Yeah, it was meh on there. But the Raiders Cowboys game at least was entertaining.
Yeah. But it wasn't like I was caught up by. You know what it is? It's kind of like when you got like just some music on in the back, like Muzak, where it's kind of like just generic and it's just going and it's like it's just fine. It's just whatever. I'm not mad at it, but I'm not like go ooh yay.
Yeah, Bill Saints game. The only reason on there, the only reason I was paying attention on there because I had the Bears defense. I had
fantasy is the only reason anybody
Darnell. I had Darnell Mooney going in that game on there because why did I pick him up? Because he was facing the Lions. Why did I pick up the Bears defense? Because they're facing the Lions.
Right.
With that, and again, Kamara being hurt, I'm like, oh crap! I'm not going to start anybody on that. So
right.
And then I got Diggs on there, so I ended up winning in my fantasy on there. Thank God. I mean, as terrible as that my team's going this year, just for injuries, Kamara, Hunt, Russell.
Damn. You've had a ton of them.
I had a ton of injuries, and if I went out, I make the playoffs still. So, with that, but yeah, even this weekend, the games were like meh.
Yeah.
Thank God I was like on there. I mean,
That's my whole take on it. Well, you know why it was meh for me? Because after Saturday, everything was going to be
yeah,
meh.
everything was meh.
Yeah, everything was just
Like,
kind of
whatever.
meh.
Yeah.
So, but Thursday, that's not the reason, because that was Thursday, right?
Yeah.
But it was just a kind of a, like I said, I was fine watching the turkey cook and shooting the shit with our family. This year was really small. Our get together was, COVID is really, well, there's a lot of things that have changed it, but our family's Turkey Day went from like, huge to next to nobody. So it was much smaller, and it was actually really quiet and nice. And yeah, the game was in the kind of in the background for the most part. And you watch a few minutes of it and go, yeah, that's kind of what I expected. Nah. And, but for it to carry over like that into Sunday was a little disappointing. But like I said, it's hard to, if you're from our point of view as a Michigan fan, it's kind of hard after Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Hence the whole first hour of the show really being college football talk.
This year, I mean, and of course you were stuck watching that Sunday night game. It was just terrible.
Oh jeez.
Then you had the Monday night game, which was terrible.
I fell asleep on both those games, to be honest.
I
with
went to
you, man.
bed.
Yeah.
On both of them.
Yeah, I'm like, I watch this. I watch a lot of stuff for just because of the show. I'll be like, there's certain matchups. I'm like, you know what? I should probably watch that. We'll be talking about it. And then of course, I will overall try to catch as much stuff as I can because so we can talk here. But like, I wasn't gonna watch those games at the end. I was like, I'll just wake up and get the score and the stat line in the morning. I'll watch the highlights and I'll listen to some.
But there really wasn't any highlights.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I don't feel like I missed anything.
I mean, come on, Lamar Jackson throws 4 picks and they still win the damn game.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, wow.
And the fans are all ripping on Baker Mayfield. Dude,
Wow.
Baker Mayfield is a walking mass unit. You can't be picking on him. Dude is beat the crap.
This is the problem. When you talk shit, you need to walk shit. I don't care if you're hurt. And that motherfucker talks shit all the time. So you need to stop it. And then your media presence is you living in the stadium.
Right.
I'm all about football. I live in the stadium. I never leave. Well, then why the fuck are you so broken? And you know what? You know what you are? Even when you're not broken, you're just okay.
Right.
You're
Well, I
just
never said he
average.
was, yeah.
You're
But-
just average. So no, if I'm a Cleveland fan, if I'm a Browns fan, nah, I'm done with this dude.
Well, again,
I'm done with this dude.
Well, they're not going to. I don't know if
No, they're
they'll
not going to let it. But I'm just saying, as a fan,
Or do they let him go and go try to make a trade? Because Russell's, his days are numbered in Seattle.
yes, we talked about it before. Like 2 big quarterbacks could be on the move. I feel if there's going to be one on the move, it's going to be Russ. I don't think we'll get both of them moving, but we could. But I think Russ is definitely more and more. It feels like
Russ is going to the Giants.
You know what? I don't think Russ goes to the Giants because that doesn't give him a better chance to win. I think if Russ can pick his fucking coach, he stays. But I don't think they're willing to do that.
Well, I think the Giants are canning the coach, the general manager, everybody.
Yeah, that's why Russ ain't going.
Does he go to Cleveland?
That could be a potential. But I don't know that they do that. Like I said, it's going to be weird. And when you have big name they just don't leave in their prime.
Well, you know what the good news is? That draft pick that we're getting from the Rams keeps getting better and better and better.
I mean, I guess. I mean, they lost 2 games I didn't think they were supposed to lose. They probably shouldn't have lost, in my opinion.
Right.
So
2 games that they should have lost. 2 games you ponied up on. There.
Right. So, okay. I mean, so what, you're going to get maybe 1 spot higher in the draft?
Right now they're slated at 23. If they keep losing on there, I mean, the way freaking Frisco, actually,
you're not getting a top 20 pick. It doesn't matter. And what's the top 20 do you anyway? I mean, I guess it's okay, but you're not getting a top 20 pick. And you're in the precarious predicament of having the number 1 overall pick in a draft that doesn't have jack shit in it.
Yes.
I mean, let's be real.
If you want a defensive end, you got 2 really good ones at the top, and that's it. You got Hutchinson, and you got Thibodeau, and after that, it's
and I mean that'd be a great to go ahead and draft Hutchinson, but I mean, you're going to draft him number 1 overall.
I mean, the way again, all the pundits are saying is he's the under.
So if
With
you do,
it.
if
I mean,
you, if
he
you-
is-
then he'll be once again he'll be one of those guys that you won't be able to afford to pay by the time you get the team
Right.
belt.
Well, by the time you get better under, your
Yeah.
best bet is trade down a little bit under. And again, maybe that second pick, they can get one of the damn receivers from Ohio State in there, whether with that. Because there's not again, personally, I don't think there's a quarterback worth taking in the top 20.
No.
And again, you have the first pick of the second round. You still might be able to get Sam Howell out of North Carolina in the second round.
And to be honest with you, Moose, I don't want to pay a quarterback. There isn't a quarterback in the draft I want to pay first round money.
Right.
First round, there's first
I'll
round.
take Sam Howell in the first pick of the second round. It's not first round money anymore.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't matter 20 if there's
You
someone in the
fix your
top 20 or
defense
not.
on there. You get the kid out of the one of the linebackers from the one linebacker from Alabama. You get Hutchinson or Thibodeau. You get the defensive end. You finally got a pass rush. You get a linebacker. You fix two spots where you need some help on there.
Sure.
And you go or do you go after one of the receivers on there from Ohio State in that 20 to 25 range?
For what? Who's giving them the ball? Who's giving them the ball?
Yeah.
Why are you getting a receiver? Who's giving him the ball?
Well, that's where you go. Hopefully, get
The guy's going to be a track star.
yeah.
He's going to run up and down the field, man. Just give him a baton.
Trust me, I would start Blau over what's going on right now. I mean, again, he can't do any worse than this guy.
Yes, he can. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, he can. Don't get it twisted. As bad as Goff is, think about that. Think about where Goff was with another team, with another scheme, with other players.
Well, yeah, last year he wasn't
And
very
look
good.
what he's doing now. So
Oh,
you
he's
think
terrible.
Blau hasn't done jack shit. You think he's going to come in there and just pick up the Lions and win a fucking game?
No, they're not winning a
Dude.
game this year.
Come on. I know. I told you that before we started the season.
I thought they would win on there, but yeah, I mean, they're not.
I told you that from the beginning.
The way Atlanta's not playing. I mean, they got garbage, but there would seem to be
Dude, they
won
bought-
some
you're
games
gonna-
they shouldn't have won.
I know. They do that. That's what teams do. All the teams do it. 31 teams in the fucking league do it. Even the Texans do it. Even the Giants do it. Even the Jets do it. 31 fucking teams in the league do it. 31.
Yeah, Houston's done it. The only two teams Houston's beaten is the only team Houston's beaten is Tennessee twice.
Yeah. Tennessee. Tennessee. One of the best teams in the league.
Of course, they went to New England, got smoked.
But we don't know what New England's going to be yet. Look at how they're playing. We don't know what they're going to be yet. If they continue on this upward trend and then repeat next year that kind of upward trend,
Well, again,
dude, what's everybody going to be talking about then?
We'll get with our pick'ems on there because I think that might be the best game. Actually, that's the best Monday night game of the year on there, and it's not even close.
So we're going to get into that.
We'll get our pick'ems on there with it.
But-
But yeah, I mean, none of these games on there. Pittsburgh. Dude, freaking Cincinnati walked in there and just trounced them.
They are so regretting the Ben Roethlisberger thing.
Yes.
And the whole Rudolph dude scenario, it's done.
Oh, yeah.
It ended when he got hit in the head with a helmet.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It ended that day.
Yes.
And so the fact that they didn't address the quarterback situation.
Because they could have got Mac Jones and they passed on him and let New England trade basically down to get him.
Right. And, well, my whole thing is, even if you don't take Mac Jones, you didn't try to get anybody.
No.
And that, dude, literally, I
You
would
didn't-
take any warm body over the two you
You
got
didn't
now.
address the offensive line issue, and you drafted a nice running back. A nice running back, but again, you need an offensive line. You needed a quarterback.
Oh, absolutely.
With that,
But
does you think San Diego might be regretting getting rid of Anthony Lynn the way they've been playing lately?
I mean, too early,
I thought so.
you know?
Especially the way they were playing last year at the end. I mean, they
Right.
lost a lot of time game, but dude, the dude was balling.
Right.
He was doing great in Austin. He just seems to regress the second half of the season. And I'm thinking, dude, that's maybe you jumped the gun a little too early.
Yep. That's what I think. I mean, but once again, we'll see it play out. Like, things have to. We're not hot take artists, though. We do that every once in a while just to be fun. But like, you got to talk about it. But I think we end up backtracking on a lot of shit, right, Moose? You look at a lot of stuff over time. I mean, we thought Verlander was done here. Remember the conversation about Verlander? It's like, he's probably done. Maybe he'll come back and be a reliever, but like he's probably not gonna. And then he goes and wins another effing champion. Goes and wins
the World Series and wins the Cy Young and gets his third no-hitter.
Right. So, after all that.
Now coming off Tommy John surgery, they basically got him clocking it, throwing at 96 miles an hour.
You know what I'm saying? And at his age, too.
At 39.
Right.
He's our generation Nolan Ryan.
Yeah. I mean, the closest thing you're going to get because of the way pitching is now.
Yeah.
Sure. But, yeah, I just you just never know. You just never know. Remember the thing on Stafford is that he wasn't durable early in his career. Yeah, he was a China.
They call him a China.
Yeah, we even bitched about it here. Yeah, I'm like, the dude's fragile. It feels like. I mean, like I don't want to call him a China doll, but I'm like gonna call him a China doll right now until he can prove he's not. And he was always a tough guy. We didn't want to take away his toughness because we've seen what he would do injured. He win games injured. What are you doing? But it was. It's just, can he stay healthy kind of thing? And then it turned out once his career settled in, now I think that's what you're seeing in LA with him is that, and guys, you can do that whole, he doesn't beat anybody and it's not Detroit. Stop. Detroit was look at Detroit now without him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just look, don't give me that bullshit. Okay. Don't give me that bullshit. This guy had his ass handed to him, and he played last year with all those back problems and all this other shit. And guess what's starting to catch up with him now this year?
The back.
And that was my thing. I like them their chances to get in the Super Bowl if he stays healthy.
Right.
Him having a 17 game season doesn't help shit.
No. And he's lost his number 2 receiver. He lost the number 1 running back right off the bat. So, I mean, he's taking a beating out there with it. The surprise team, really, I mean, we should be surprised on there because it is Kyle Shanahan. It's the freaking 49ers. I mean, again.
Unbelievable to me. And it's not, to me, Kyle Shanahan hasn't proven that he's, like, overwhelmingly great. I know a lot of people tout him and all that. So when they flounder, it feels inconsistent.
Right.
No matter what he's done, it's like, okay, yeah, he's had moments of greatness and he does do anything egregiously bad, but they just haven't had a whole lot of success really.
Right.
And so it's just like,
and I think the injury bug, especially last year, hit them on there.
Well, we talked about the war of attrition has hit them really bad.
The running backs wise, but you know what it is it doesn't matter because they keep throwing guys in there. They're like the 3rd and 4th string, and also like
well, that shows a testament to the offensive line and the scheme.
Well, it is a great offensive line. That's the kicker too. Is they've got a really good getting Trent Williams, and then you got on there. You've got McGinnis. You've got a really McGinley. You've got a really good offensive line there, and they've got a great defensive front.
Sure.
Their secondaries, but yeah, Minnesota on there again. Dalvin Cook is out for multiple weeks. Separated shoulder, torn labrum. I don't even know if he comes back this year. So you're wasting that on him again with it. But you look at that, you go, freaking, Green Bay. I mean, dude.
I mean, what do you want me to say?
Aaron's a bad man.
He is.
Even with his busted up toe, his pinky toe. Whether it's COVID toe or just a busted up pinky toe, don't matter.
Yeah.
With it.
That's why I don't see him going anywhere. Like, they'll do what they need to do to fix it.
He may just say, you know what, I want out. I'm done with this bullshit. You know what? The general manager, he feels like the general manager doesn't appreciate him. The coach doesn't. Screw it. I'm out.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
I mean, with it, but yeah, like Seattle, I think it's run its course in that on there, and it's like, you know what, I think they're done. I think it's time for them to run there, and we'll see what Arizona's off the bye week, so we'll see what they do from now on. If Arizona can keep it going too, but yeah, we'll see what again New England. We'll see what down there. Obviously, Mac Jones looks like right now he's the best quarterback out of the bunch. Drafted wise on there, we'll keep up at what they do on there. But dude, I mean, what he's doing with freaking Jacoby Myers and Bourne and couple of nice tight ends with Jonnu and Hunter Henry, but they got a power running game. They're right back to where they were with the power running game. 2 big backs that could just be on a great defense.
I want to give a shout out to our friend Canada Mike. He hasn't, if you guys haven't noticed, he hasn't been in the chat room lately. He's taking care of some personal stuff, and but he is he's thinking about us. He's got a couple of he's bringing some Lions gear to his little group thing that he's dealing with and doing, and he's thinking about us, and he gave us a little shout out here. So shout out to Canada Mike. Handle your business.
Hey, take care there, brother. I mean, we hope you join us real soon,
Yep.
and but don't worry about it.
Yeah,
we got your back.
Yep, we love you, brother. Take care of your business and all that. So yeah, I don't know if you wanted me to put that out there, but he is thinking about us, even though he can't join us, and he's got some things going on, and he's wearing his Lions gear, thinking about us. So things that make him happy, and it's DSR2. So I love you, brother. I appreciate you. And even though the Lions suck and they're losing, I'll get into your message. I'll read it full on later if you are listening by chance. When I get a second. But I appreciate you sending that. That was just the gist of what he sent. I didn't get into reading every word on it. So, but anyway, I do. We'll get into a little bit of a thing kind of at the end and stuff like that of the show. I don't want to change the energy in here, but yeah, what you're seeing, I don't even know where we're at for a second there. Where were we? We were talking before I did the Canada Mike thing.
Just the attrition wise.
Yeah, with the Niners. Yeah, they did this. This has happened to them before. I mean, they just and so.
Yeah, it's happened every year with these days. He just gets guys out there, and you go, "Holy crap!" All of a sudden, next thing you know, it's like running.
So I would like this. I like you just don't. The consistency isn't there. I guess was my point because of that. And we'll see if they can stay healthy and they can keep it rolling. I don't want to play them. That defense is no joke.
No.
And so yeah, I don't want. I there's always a team that kind of you don't want to play. We're talking about Michigan earlier. You don't want to play them now. They're in that groove. The Niners could hit that groove right at the right time.
Yes.
And so, we'll see how that goes going forward.
Yep, we'll see how there. Really cool. We'll get into Ken and I would appreciate that on there. The Detroit Red Wings got their 3,000th regular season win last night.
Yeah, against the Bruins. Yeah.
Against the Bruins, and their 7,000th regular season point.
Oh, that's crazy.
With it, they're up. They're tied 2-2 with the Kraken tonight. So, with it, and again, we're not saying is the way the Wings are basically playing and everything with it. Are they going to make the playoffs? Don't know. But again, it's at least, as we said, interesting to watch. This team might sneak in the playoffs. And again, we especially with the rookies on there, with Raymond and Sider.
Yeah.
Back-to-back rookies of the month.
Yep. No, it's been nice to see, and that's where you got to start, right? We talked about it, Moose. The philosophy's got to be a little bit different than it had been for the Wings. The salary cap has kind of changed everything for them, and I've never felt that they adjusted properly to it.
Right.
I mean, it just they had some contracts that carried over just prior to the salary cap era, but once you got a few years in, they faded out and they haven't recovered.
No.
And to me, I just feel like it's a philosophy change that they weren't able to get, and now I think you're starting to see that, right? You got to draft well. We talk about it with the NHL. It's probably one of the harder drafts probably for the layman to pick up, because unless you're watching all these college and overseas games, I mean, how do you
it's
scout?
hard to, especially the overseas. We don't know. I mean, unless you're basically being a total geek out on hockey and catching the worlds and the basically the Swedish and the Russian leagues on there, you don't know what's on there. But you're starting to see under, and now you're seeing Zadina's starting to get a little bit under his. Right. He's starting to get some scoring in there with it. So you're starting Larkin and obviously Bertuzzi are definitely playing well together on there. But yeah, you're definitely seeing with Lucas Raymond and Maurice Sider, dudes are just playing out of their freaking minds. And now we're getting a great game the other night, last night by the goaltender with was it the bank off. I mean, it's just like great.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. Yep.
46. He had 45 saves last night.
Yeah.
I
Well, he
mean,
had a game last week or something that was like.
he had it under. Yeah. I mean, he's got a 2.58 goals against under, but yeah, I mean, the save percentage is 923.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Under, but you're going to see that. I think teams are going to start seeing it's like, we're going to go to Detroit. This is going to be a lot tougher than we thought.
Yep.
With it. So,
yep. And they'll get there. Right? Like I said, you start getting a couple of young, players playing real well, and then you get a free agent or two, and then before you know it, you have a destination.
Yes.
Right? You're starting to play well. You got a good locker room. People, then all of a sudden you can get somebody, or maybe you draft somebody that's going to be a cornerstone that, again, like you had with Lindstrom or something like that. And so, but they're showing the signs of going in that direction, which is actually promising. When you start looking at the other teams in our state, I think we're right on. I think we were both said the same thing, that we probably felt the best about the Wings turning it around quicker.
yes.
Mainly because of Stevie Y in that situation. And right now, so far, the trend is proving us right, but we'll see how it goes. But I do love what I'm seeing. At least it's entertaining. I know we say the same thing about the Pistons, and they haven't been quite as entertaining as we'd like this year, but that will improve.
Yes.
Just
That will get better on there with it. But yeah, I definitely.
and if it doesn't, then you're going to be coach hunting, because this is not, you can't just keep letting this stuff slide. But
no, especially when you got you got the future of your franchise there with Cade Cunningham right there.
Right.
With that. But yeah, I mean, it's just fun to watch. I mean, is Phoenix ever going to lose again? I mean, they've won 17 in a row.
Dude, you want to get into Phoenix in the NBA? I'm all down. Let's talk about it, because guess what? They did this last year.
Yeah.
And
they did that in the bubble. Remember,
Yep,
even though they didn't make the playoffs in the bubble, nobody wanted to play that team.
Right. But guess what? Guess what happens when they got to play somebody in a meaningful situation? Guess what happens when they get into series? They struggle.
Oh yeah.
And they do what they do. So like, okay, cool. I'm all about it. It's nice. It's a cute story, but it's exactly what we thought it was going to be.
Right.
And guess what? We'll talk about it in the playoffs. If they stay at the top of the West and they duke it out with Golden State back and forth, and whoever, Utah or whoever else is going to end up in that area, then, okay, then we'll see what happens in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because they were supposed to get it done. And,
Well, yeah, last year they got to the finals and they ended up losing to Milwaukee.
Right.
But Golden State, dude, Phoenix wins 17 in a row, and they're only tied with Golden State.
Right.
Again, wait till Clay comes back.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. And then, you know what it took, too? It took, like, statistically shitty day from Clay. From Steph. How often has he gone, like, 4 for 21?
His worst day shooting
ever. Yeah. And so don't act like it's, I don't know, whatever. And you're only 3. And if he makes 3 more shots,
they win that one.
They win that one too. You know what I mean?
So yeah,
it's like, because the way the guy shoots. So you're not going to have that. That's one of the most anomalous things you'll ever see. He's not going to have another day like that. No. In fact, they're going to play him.
It'll be another 12 years.
Well, they're going to play him again in a few days, and he'll put 40 on him. Watch.
Yeah.
Watch.
He'll be 7 of 8 from 3-point land.
Yeah. And he'll put 40. He'll put a 40 burger on him, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he does. He won't even start off hot. He'll come out and he'll have 6 points and 4 assists at halftime, and then he'll roll out of there with a 40 burger. Watch. He'll have 41 and 10 dimes. It's what he does. He can get hot that quick.
Yeah.
Because of the way he shoots. So yeah, he can have 10 points at halftime and still pull a 40 burger. I mean, I'm being silly, but there's some truth in there. So
but, yeah, I mean, you look at this wise on there, but yeah, the way they're playing, I mean, it's fun to watch. But as we said, they haven't played anybody, so we'll see.
Well, it's not even about playing anybody. They'll play fine during the regular season.
Wait till they get to
They feel like the Washington Capitals. Not as bad, but like they're almost there. If they didn't get to the finals last year, they would have gotten that tag.
Yes.
The fact that they got to the finals last year, we gave them a little bit of a reprieve from that. But they're like that team that is like, even in their history, they've kind of been like that, where it's like, okay, you could have probably did a little better this year with that talent. Even when Barkley was there.
Right.
I mean, it just seems like it's been like that my whole life, or they've just been irrelevant, but because they were for a long time. They have a good team. I love but now they got an injury that they got to deal with, and we'll see how they do. Because it's you're playing a depleted Golden State team. What happens when they are full strength and you're down a guy? Like, so I don't know. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I love what they're doing. I love seeing it because we're talking about those teams and not about like, a certain yellow and purple team.
Right. That yellow and purple team may not even make the playoffs.
The geriatric purples?
Yes.
Yeah, the purple peoples. It's the geriatric team probably won't. No. At the bet they're going to be in that play-in scenario. They'll be hoping for. That's what I think they'll be fighting for.
Yeah.
Just the play-in.
Yeah. Right now they're fighting for that play-in spot.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it'll be like this all year.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be able to stay healthy. The only thing is if they do get in and they are healthy, then all of a sudden they become a hard team to deal with. But
age catches up with everybody.
Yeah. Mother Nature, Father Time, them two never lose.
As we said, time always wins.
Yeah. So I'm saying Mother Nature, Father Time, always win.
Undefeated.
Yes.
It may go 7 games. It might go to overtime, but they're going to come out with the win.
Respect your spiritual parents.
Yes.
You don't want to have an earthquake or a hurricane, and and then the other. So, anyway, all right.
I'm exhausted.
It's been like that. This has been a whirlwind just because it feels like that. It's been like that this week. From a sports and from a personal life standpoint, right? I mean, not to get into all the news stuff that's going out there, but of course we got new variants and COVID, and blah blah blah, and gas prices this and supply chains that, and it's
Hey, I got gas for under $3 a gallon.
I paid a little over $3, but whatever.
$2.99.
People were bitching about that, and I'm like, they're like, it's $3.40 nationally. I'm like, I just paid $3.08.
Where'd you get gas? Yeah.
Where'd you get gas at?
Did you go to Exxon or something?
Yeah,
get the premium.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, what are you rocking? I mean, if you were rocking the 93, maybe.
Yeah.
But not the 87. What are you doing?
Yeah, don't tell me. Oh my God, my turkey cost me $50, dude. Where'd you get your turkey at?
Yeah.
Where'd you get the organic, cage-free fresh bird?
Right.
Dude, I paid 50 cents a pound. I got me a 17-pounder for $8.50.
I just. I get that it's not what it used to be. I get that things are, there is an unnatural level of inflation we're dealing with now. But damn, relax, pump the brakes here and give it some time.
And it's not just us, it's worldwide.
Yeah,
so just deal with it, dude.
Yeah, I feel for the people that are already on the cusp, right? You're already struggling to pay your bills and do your thing, and then now you have this significant increase that your employment is not accommodating for, and so those are the people like us. We're at least in the middle, and if you're in the middle, then up or down a little bit doesn't mess with you too much,
right?
But when you're down at the bottom, up or down a little bit means the whole world, right?
Yes.
Up a little bit means I paid some bills and have some food, and down a little bit means do I pay the electric or the gas? Because I ain't paying both.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or worse. So and I would like to think we've all been there. I know I have. So that's who I feel for in this situation. But like everybody else, I'm kind of like you. It's just suck it up. It's not, if we do what we need to do, which we won't because we're assholes, generally speaking. But if we do what we need to do, then this too shall pass. But we won't because we're assholes. So, and that's my big beef. Everybody's assholes right now. And I don't want to hear the media is the reason, because if I were to put a poll out and ask people, are you influenced by the media? Does the media make you change your mind about how you think and what you do, and do they control you like that? And I'm willing to bet that everybody will say no. Everybody will say no. No one will ever admit that they're being manipulated by the media, but we're magically manipulated by the media. The media that you watch is what you watch because it reinforces what you believe.
Oh, right.
That's all there is to it. Media is just flavors for everybody. You pick your flavor and you eat it. That's it. It's no different. It's not the waiter coming to you and saying, "Hey, eat this steak," when you're a vegetarian. It's you going to a steakhouse and buying a steak because you want a fucking steak.
Right.
Okay? That's what it is. It's not, I'm a vegan and you're selling me a fucking steak and I can't get nothing else. It is, I eat meat. I went to the steakhouse and that's what I got. That's what media is.
Yes.
So we're divisive because we're assholes.
Of course we are.
That's why it's all divided. That's why nothing gets done, because we're all assholes. We're assholes. So just live with it. So, just live with it. If you're not willing to be less of an asshole, then just live with the fact that everybody else is an asshole. And understand your level of assholeness. I know my level of assholeness.
Oh, yeah. I know mine.
I'm very aware. We talk about it here. I make it very clear that I'm a dick, especially when I'm talking about shit. So my level of asshole is high. So I have to deal with a lot of asshole shit, or I got to shut my mouth. What else can I say? So that being said, the threshold for asshole shit is very, very low these days, because it seems to be a very high level of it out there, because everybody's on edge. So just know, as much as you're frustrated and on edge and things don't work for you, it's the same thing going for the next guy. Maybe worse. You never know another man's struggle until you just don't. You just don't know another man's struggle. So we always leave the show with a good, be good to each other and all this other stuff. And that's because it's that fostering of positive energy. And so we talked about it with the games, with Michigan and the synergy between coaches and players. You have that. It's the same thing everywhere. It's the whole universe. And so, yeah, it is what it is.
Yep.
Asshole shit.
Asshole. Oh, no.
There's a lot of that going around.
And there's a great song by Dennis Leary called "I'm an Asshole."
I'm an asshole. And we could play it for a lot of these players and stuff too. So it's not just us.
Yep. So yeah, we got coming up here. So you're probably winding down the regular season for playoffs. I mean, for fantasy football.
No.
In your absolute panic mode. Oh my God, how am I gonna? I gotta win the last 2 games to get my team to the playoffs. And damn it, Aaron is on the damn bye week. What the hell am I gonna do? Crap.
Well, that's why you tune in for Moose's fantasy moment, because you got to deal with bye weeks. It's a reality of fantasy football.
Bye weeks and injuries and everything with it. So yeah. Well, again, this week on here, looks like Amari Cooper is probably out again this week on here. So what's he got? We got Taysom Hill facing Dallas, and New Orleans facing Dallas. Taysom Hill is gonna get the start, his first start of the year on there. So he's definitely a pickup if you need a quarterback on there. Also looking at Tyler Henke for Washington. Again, they're playing the Raiders. Raiders' defense is terrible, and you also got Tua Tagovailoa on there. Again, they're playing the Giants, and the Giants defense has been playing a little better, but so is Tua, so I definitely like that as well. And again, I've seen on here Mac Jones available in 42% of a lot of leagues out there, so he's still available. Dude, he'd be my number 1 pickup to start him on there every week. I'd be a must start. Let's see, running back wise. Here's another thing: is Chris McCaffrey's hurt and water is wet. Chuba Hubbard is a pickup against Atlanta. DeAndre Swift is injured probably multiple weeks with a shoulder injury. So you got Jamal Williams. Definitely like that on there. And then Sanders is still hurt with the ankle injury. So you got Boston Scott. So definitely look at those. And again, for running receiver wise, Kendrick Bourne has actually had a couple nice games in a row on there, so I definitely like him this week on there. Also, we'll see if T.Y. Hilton, it might be a pickup on there as well on there, so we'll get into that. And we'll talk about that. And then tight end wise is you've got Logan Thomas, you've got Foster Moreau because Waller is out, so definitely like that as well. And we've got Cole Kmet against Arizona for Chicago, so look at that as well. And again, if you need a kicker or a defense, don't even talk to me. Just go away. So we got pick'ems. Dude, we were terrible last week.
I was going to say, should we even do this?
Actually, we were like, yeah, it was like upsets that didn't happen on there was whatever. We went heavy upsets on there, and I don't think any of them panned out. But all our favorites won, so who knows?
What is freaking out? Stop! Die!
But you got like a lineup here of basically on there. You look at the pick'ems, and it's like, ugh. I don't like one. I don't like any dogs this week on there. With it, you got lots of home dogs, and you know why they're home dogs.
Yeah, it's gonna be a chalk week. I feel like but it's one of those things where it doesn't seem to matter, Moose. Whatever we do, we're flipping wrong this year. It is so weird. It never stops. This week won't be any different. I don't even know what to say. Like I said, I don't even know if we should be doing this at this point. It feels like, gosh,
it's ugly.
Yeah, well, here's another one. Once again, just go opposite field, and you guys will be all right.
All right, so we got Thursday night game on there. We got Thursday at 8:20 on there. We got Dallas is on the road to New Orleans. They're a 5.5-point favorite against the Saints. Yeah, I know Taysom Hill starting.
It's flipping Taysom Hill.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter on this one on it. I got a feeling Dallas is going to win this one, even though they lost last week on there. I think CeeDee Lamb is at least back this week on there, so give me Dallas. New Orleans just nobody likes them.
I'm with you.
Even Kamara's just like ugh.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, I'm with you. I don't see it. So I hate to take the Cowboys, but what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I'm not taking New Orleans. I mean, so let's see. We got a 1:00 game on Sunday. Tampa Bay is going to Atlanta. It doesn't matter about whether it's in a dome. Tampa Bay is 11.5-point favorite against Atlanta. Yeah. Tampa Bay, supposedly their offense is not very good. It's not as good on the road. Well, guess what? They're playing Atlanta this week. It'll be just freaking fine.
Right.
Who to start for Tampa? Everybody. All right. Arizona comes off the bye week. They're going to Chicago. Weather is going to be like kind of cold, maybe a little bit of snow out there. Arizona is a 7.5-point favorite against who? The Bears. Because why? They're the Bears.
Yeah.
Give me Arizona off the bye week. Who not to start for the Bears? Everybody.
Yeah, the Bears are not very good. Yeah.
All right, the Chargers, another 1:00 game. They go to Cincinnati. This is a rematch of the ice, well, not the ice bowl, like the basically wind chill bowl or whatever, the below zero bowl. On there, the Chargers are a 2.5-point dog to Cincy. Yeah, Chargers are not playing very well, and Cincinnati is. So give me Cincinnati.
Yeah, I was gonna say the trend here lately. Yeah, that's the way it's got to be. Yeah, I would love to see the Chargers play better. I mean, the talk about Herbert for a minute there was like, ooh, maybe he was supposed to be the pick over like a Mahomes, and it's like no. Pump the brakes on
Herbert
that one.
Is on there, yeah.
And so we'll see.
JoJo's definitely been the pick.
JoJo's definitely and we kind of were fans early just because his poise.
Yes.
With a crappy team around him to play that like that was pretty impressive. So yeah, I expect that to carry over definitely in this game.
Plus, dude, the moxie of him smoking a big old cigar and after the national championship.
That image you can't. It doesn't go away.
You can't smoke a cigar here. Yeah, what do you do? Fine. On that. So we got another 1:00 game. Here in Detroit. Detroit's at home versus Minnesota. Even though they don't have Dalvin Cook this week, it doesn't matter. Minnesota's 7.5-point favorite. Yeah, Detroit is terrible. They're epically terrible. So give me Minnesota.
Yep.
I'll give up the points. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Who to start for Minnesota? Everybody.
Yep.
All right, we got Indianapolis is on the road to Houston. They're an 8.5-point favorite. Yeah, Indy did make a game of it last week against Tampa Bay on there. Houston is terrible. Give me Indy. I think they're going to just give the ball to Jonathan Taylor like 25 times and let him get 170 yards.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm not a big Indy fan, but we're talking about Texas, the Houston Texans here. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of end of story.
All right, New York Giants are 2.5-point dog to Miami. I'm not sure about this one. This might be the only time I'm taking the dog this week on there. Miami's actually played pretty good on there. Giants actually played pretty good last week as well. Maybe they just needed to fire Jason Garrett earlier and everything would be a little better. And that's what I think everybody's going for the Giants quarterback, head coach, general manager. But I'm going to take the G-Man. I got to take at least one dog. Because the rest of these teams, I don't like any of the dogs, so I'll just take a dog.
You're taking a dog, the G-Men, and who did you say to me?
Miami. G-Men are 2.5-point dog.
I don't know.
I think everybody's back for the Giants. I think Galladay's back, Shepard's back, Barkley's back.
I mean, that helps to have a full complement of players. I'm going to take Miami just to go different than you so we can break it up a little bit.
I can't argue with it.
It's just like one of those things where like they're just so evenly bad.
Yes. Miami's playing a little better too. Looks like on there, but it's like, because look on there. Philly is going on the road to the Jets. They're a 6.5-point favorite on this one. Only reason I'm gonna take Philly because it's the Jets.
Yeah, exactly. I
wouldn't take Philly if it wasn't.
No,
the
Philly's
Jets.
Offense is brutal.
Oh my God, they're brutal.
Oh, so terrible.
All right, we got to the 4:00 game. The first 4:00 game. Jacksonville goes the trip out west. Basically, the Urban Meyer countdown, him getting the Notre Dame job is continuing on. Yeah. Jacksonville is at 8.5-point dog to the Rams on there. And again, what does Stafford need to get the ship right? Play the Jacksonville.
Yeah. Yep, that's a way to end the 3-game skid they're on. Jacksonville's just terrible. Terrible.
All right, the Washington football team is going to Vegas. They're a 2.5-point dog on the road to Vegas on there. Vegas actually had a nice win last week on there with it. Washington can't stop the pass either on this, so I think Derek Carr is going to be fine. Josh Jacobs will be the key on this one, so give me Vegas.
I'm with you. Yeah. I mean, Raiders aren't killing things, but yeah, I'll take Vegas.
All right, then we got the 4:25 game. We've got Frisco going up to Seattle.
Oh, God, Seattle's a dumpster fire right now.
They are a dumpster fire. Frisco's a 2.5-point favorite. Yes, they should be a 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason it's that, I think they gave them a point for the fan base.
Right.
I mean, for the home field. I mean, because
Frisco always plays Seattle tough. Even when both teams are really good, they just be that one team that has Seattle's number on that one. And trust me, Seattle is they're terrible. Yeah. Russell's beat up. He's hurt.
It's just the whole okay. We have the let Russ cook scenario out there, but it can't be the only thing you did.
Right. They fired Brian Schottenheimer after they scored the most points in Seattle's Seahawk history. They fire the offensive coordinator, they get the next guy, and they're just terrible.
It's called scapegoating when you fire somebody, for that was actually successful and for your shortcomings. But I don't know.
All right, so we got another 4:25 game. We got Baltimore going to Pittsburgh, interdivision rivalry on this one.
That used to be a great game.
It used to be a great game. Baltimore's a 3.5-point favorite. Again, I have a feeling we're going to probably see Mason Rudolph this week on there. Give me Baltimore.
Yeah, if we see Mason Rudolph, this will get ugly. I think that I don't know that. It's one of those things where, like, Baltimore plays down sometimes to competition, it feels like. And that's probably why they have that such a close, because it shouldn't even be that close. I
have a feeling they're going to just take out their frustrations on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's supposed to be this great physical team. Dude,
I'm not buying it this year. So, yeah, I've taken Baltimore, of course.
All right, we got the 8. This game, I can't believe it has been flexed out yet. Well, actually, looking at all the other games, unless there's nobody out with.
There's nobody to flex out with,
Yeah, there's nobody. Denver is a 9.5-point dog to KC. Yeah.
Yep.
Give me Casey. Casey looks like they've gotten everything starting to get back on track, and it. So we'll look out there. The only game that gets flexes out one is the Monday night game, and ESPN's like, no, we're not giving that up.
No.
You go bite me. Monday night is actually looks like the best Monday night game of the year. We got New England as a 3.5 point dog at Buffalo.
Is this a Manning cast? Is my only question.
My God, I hope they're back for this.
Oh, dude.
I think they are, because last week I really wanted the Manning cast and we didn't have it.
Yes.
Yeah, so give me. I think Buffalo's going to basically on there. It's at home at Orchard Park on there. This crowd is going to be rocking because who hates New England? Nobody hates New England like Buffalo hates New England.
Yeah.
Give me Buffalo.
Yeah. Ooh, you're taking Buffalo in that game. Buffalo has proven to be wildly inconsistent this year. I don't trust them. And I am going to take New England in this game.
Taking the road dog.
Dude, you're talking about I want to see it happen. This is a win they got to get, and I think they can.
This
get
is
it
for
done.
the division.
Yeah.
Who wins this one wins
The
that division.
And I'm not sold that the Bills have had all season to take this division, and they haven't done it. Every opportunity they've had to lock this division down, they've lost.
Right.
I don't think it changes. I'm taking New England.
All right. So there's our pick'ems on here. Boy, both of us only taken one dog, so we got 15. We got.
I said it. I felt like it would be more like of a chalk kind of a night.
There's just nobody on there. I look at the on there like, all right, these favorites should win.
Right.
There's not one say, oh yeah, there's a dog that's not a.
Well, when you took your first dog, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just stay chalk here because I kind of think that way anyway, and I don't really have an argument either way on that damn game.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take my dog was gonna definitely be New England just because of the way they've been playing. You're only as good as the last game you played.
And they've New England's played great on there. I mean, yeah.
So I'm gonna ride that.
All right, there we go. There's our pick'ems.
So that's what it is.
Either we're gonna look really smart this week or really dumb.
Well, I think it's one of those things where if you ride the chalk, then you probably lose a couple. And then if you go underdog, but not too crazy with the underdogs, then
Most of the time you're going to be okay.
yeah, you'd be okay. So I don't think it'll be – I think we have a chance to be less horrible because if we're really bad, then Vegas loses.
Oh, yeah.
Because we just went chalk for the most part.
Right.
So if we only have 2 dogs picked out of all those games between the two of us. So this
is the one week.
If we die here, if we get killed on picks, then Vegas had a rough go.
Right. If we did great, then Vegas did okay.
Yeah, because we're basically going yup, based on the Vegas spread right now.
Yeah, and again, I know they said this earlier this year. Vegas in a couple of weeks where they had Dog City on there, lost their ass. Trust me, they've done fine since then.
Yeah, it happens that they do, but not very often. They in the overall, they definitely are on the up. There's no two ways about that. They don't. Those big shiny giant buildings don't get put up for nothing. Because they ain't making money. But,
so we got some college hoops. We got the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Looks like State beat Louisville on there, so we got that. Michigan is playing North Carolina at North Carolina. They're up by 3 with 5 minutes and just about a little over 5 minutes left in the first half of that. So,
all right, little college poops. I'm down with the.
And then we had that huge upset with Ohio State beating Duke last night. And, of course, the fans stormed the field. And they're like, hey, act like you've been here before. Oh, wait, it's Duke. You can go ahead and storm the field.
Yeah, never mind.
Storm the court. It's Duke.
It's Duke.
We can all agree on who the hate on there.
Yes.
Duke. And we had a great, what was it? Duke beating Gonzaga over the weekend. So that was fun to watch. So. And again, as we say, college hoops doesn't really start till after the new year when we get conference play, so we'll get into that more on there. And as we said, is people are talking about the Tigers here, and they're all bent out of shape for not signing Korea on there. Well, dude, I'm not signing a 10-year contract.
Right.
I'll give Baez on there, and we'll see what happens. And again, this team could still win the Central. Come on, we're the Central.
Right.
I mean, the White Sox won with smoke and mirrors. We saw that. They beat up on the garbage teams. When they had to play somebody good in the playoffs, they were out quick. So, again, I think we need one more pitcher, and we'll see what happens on it. But I think you're going to see definitely Riley Green up with the big club to start this year, and we'll see what happens with Torkelson and that. But I like the moves they made on there, and I think we need one more starter, and we'll go from there on it. But, yeah, Max Scherzer making, what, $43 million a year for the next 3 years?
Right. Well,
he's still getting all that money from Washington deferred on there for the next millennia.
Dude, well, he's a smart businessman for one, but
it's even better than the Bobby Bonilla one.
Well, right. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna fault the guy for getting his money. And as far as the team goes and the contract goes, we talked about it, dude. My take on it, the whole thing, I don't want 10 years.
No.
So I will pay a little bit more now and give you a shorter deal.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping on. Like, you offer something ridiculous. You offer $240 for 6 years and get Korea.
Right.
Listen, dude, we'll give you $40 million a year, but we're only giving you 6 years.
Right. Because
so when you're 30, you want to sign another contract when you're hitting 34?
Right.
Feel free, but it's not with us.
Right.
Who knows? I mean,
or maybe it is, and we worry about it.
Or who knows? Maybe the Tigers are snowball and say, "Oh yeah, we got our guy," and they're going to sign Korea for like a 6-year deal for $240, and then Baez will be at second, Korea will be at third, and then you got a great middle infield.
Right. I mean, that'd be great.
Take you.
I mean, like I said, whatever. It is what it is. They're going to do what they're going to do but I don't want to pay those crazy ass long-term contracts where you're just hampered at the end, you're crippled, and that's kind of why we took such a bad dive, because you ultimately got to the point where those contracts crippled you from getting any other like significant players, and you weren't getting the production for their value even close. So, and that's what I don't want to do. So, like I said, if I understand we got to overpay cats just to get them in Detroit, and I'm willing to do that for a good player, a big time player anyway, if he's the right fit, because I would rather pay him $43 million a year over 3 years than to pay him for 10 years, and even if I get a better discount per year, because it's just not worth it, man. You never get that production on the tail end. Injuries, just all kinds of different things could happen over the course of that contract. So I've never liked those long. I mean, look at give me a 10-year contract that worked out like in recent histories. I don't care what sport. I don't even care if it's a coach or not. They just don't work out.
No.
You just don't. What you do is you sign a deal for X amount of years, and if they are successful, then you re-up.
Right.
And,
trust me, we've seen it with the whole Miggy one.
Right.
We're paying for that.
So you
especially, yeah.
If you want to do 5 years, fine. Let's say I do 5 years, but then we'll renegotiate in 4. And if you're doing good in 4, then I'll give you an extension early, and we'll work that out. But I'm not paying to have you for 10 years just because I'm going to get a better discount per year and having you when I know the last 3 years I'm not getting what I'm paying for.
No.
And it does. We've seen it over and over again because of analytics, right? These cats put together teams based on analytics and are successful. And then meanwhile you got these teams out here where, they falter because they can't do that. Well, so
yeah, I think, and I like I would like Korea here, but I don't like the 310 years on here. And again, I think the Baez at 140 for 6 is not a bad contract because they're roughly the same age in that. Both play really good defense wise. Korea's maybe a little bit more gifted offensive wise than Baez, but then again, as Baez stays healthier longer, because Korea's always he's never played more than 150 games in a season.
Right.
And he's in his prime. Dude, he's just 27. So if you haven't played 150 in your prime or you're young,
right.
Dude, I'm not taking that chance. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all on it. And I think with the right, I mean, again, yes, he was a head case last year, but dude, he was with the Mets and they were just like, oh my God, it was just garbage. I think with, again, you got Hinch in that, and I think with that, we'll see what happens. So he does have he does have an opt out after 2 years too. So again, if you have great and you want to opt out, bye. We'll go from there. Who wins? We win. So
yeah.
So thanks for joining us, guys. It was a crazy one. And and again, as you can see, I'm like, no, I didn't do a lot of cocaine today.
No, it's just
it's
giddy.
just natural happiness.
It's one of those things, right? Like for a long time, we got to see our team do well, but now we've spent, God, it feels like it's what has been feels like it's been 20 years. It's been 20.
It's been 2006 since the last time we've seen a team play this good for that Michigan.
Right. So you're talking. It's been a long time coming. So yeah, you get a little excited, get a little giddy, but that's okay. I mean, I'm hoping everybody else is excited too. Yeah. So we're gonna bring it down a little bit. I'm sure you guys have seen on the news. Nationally, we had a shooting here, a school shooting here, in the state, and of course, it's not far from us. I've got a coworker who's got kids in the school. You have someone.
Yeah, my ex-wife, a friend of hers, son goes there, and
so there is like some kind of extended connection to the kids and the families. There. So of course we put our hearts out to everybody, and we're thinking about everybody, and it's just a horrible, crazy, shitty tragedy. As details come out, we will find out about what really happened, but I'm willing to kind of get into this thing about mental health. And I think, we need to change things. We need to do things different. And I just need to know when we are going to make it serious attempt to make change here. And I'm not talking about like gun reform and all this other stuff that people want to get into in a politics kind of way. This is a humanity kind of a thing. And we need to deal with mental health in this country. So guys, listen to your kids. If they're talking about and you're hearing weird stuff and people are saying stuff, I mean, there's just listen to your kids.
Yeah.
And keep them close and pay attention, and hopefully these things don't happen. But when you hear about your kids talking about different mental health kind of things, we're adults, we know. When you hear about kids saying and talking, I was like, well, that needs to be addressed. We need to not be afraid to say, hey, and be preventative instead, proactive instead of reactive. And you can't avoid every tragedy. You can't stop every nutbag, but we can make attempts in the right way to get something done here. And so hopefully, just as a community, we can just do the little things. Watch for your neighbors. Pay attention to what's going on. Treat it as a tribe. We talk about it all the time here, that to be good to each other and all that stuff. But let's like really make it a thing, guys. Because man, I don't know. I don't know how many more of these we can keep witnessing, right?
Yeah.
And we always argue about the same dumbass thing. It's always a political argument about gun control and regulation and government this and government that and politicians this, and it turns into something that it's not. never ever do we address what it really truly is, and it's a mental health issue. And I'm willing to bet this isn't going to be any different.
No.
When we get details on what happened with this kid and bringing in the gun and all this other stuff, and shoot, we might find out it's fostered by his home life.
Right.
And we don't know. But I'm willing to bet that someone doesn't just senselessly do those things because they're stable, right?
No.
So let's that's what I want. If I were to ever, this is a holiday season, you're wishing and you're asking and you want things and you want, that's what I want, dude. You keep the gifts, keep the wishes, keep all the fine comments and the wonderful. No, let's just get rid of all that stuff, and let's put a little bit more time and effort into mental health, and let's not let other people dictate that or expect the government or people to regulate it to fix it. Let's do it from the inside out, from at home. Pay attention, talk to your family, love your family, your kids, hold them tight, and listen to what they're saying. Be good to each other. Love you guys.
Peace out, brothers.
Peace.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.